What's going on, YouTube? This is your boy, the Sports Dr. Spock, Mickey Coleman, and I'm just trying to make sure my mic isn't muted, and it isn't. Well, I'm having all kinds of trouble here, just with my little headphones or whatever. Charlamagne the God was on The View, and he had a very interesting exchange with the ladies of The View just a couple days ago as they spoke on Joe Biden pardoning his son Hunter for a gun and all kinds of drug charges. It's a wild boy, cocaine daddy, as they called him, Hunter Biden. So without any further ado, let's go to The View.
Honest or die lying. Charlamagne the God.
Thank you for having me back.
Okay, so my question is, after the election, you said that you were disappointed but optimistic. How are you feeling right now?
I feel the same way because, I mean, what's the other option?
Right.
You know, I'm a country boy from Moncks Corner, South Carolina, raised on a dirt road. So, you know, my mother was a Jehovah's Witness, my grandmother was a Baptist. So I still believe in this higher power called God.
Yeah.
And, you know, you can't believe in God when, you know, things go your way and not believe in God when things don't go your way. So at a time like this, you just got to remember your surrender.
That's very interesting. Well, because even for us Christians, things don't always go our way, but you can't, but that's part of God. That's the way God tests you. It's easy to love God when everything is okay. Will you turn on him when things aren't? Will you leave your wife when she gets fat? Or will you leave your husband when he gets fat or poor? You know, I believe that God wants you to be a true servant through good times and bad times with him, and not just good times. So that was a good point by Charlamagne. I'll let him get back because y'all came to see Charlamagne. Go ahead, Charla.
Your serenity prayer, which is God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Because we can't change nothing.
I love that. Yeah. Especially the wisdom to know the difference, right?
I mean, we can't change anything.
Can't.
I mean, you know.
Not yet.
Well, 4 years from now, I guess.
Or two.
You never know.
But let me ask you this: like, Trump's campaign ads for
two,
some,
like maybe
they're
gets
saying
impeached.
they were very effective. And in one in particular ad, he used a clip of you from the Breakfast Club saying, "quote Kamala supports taxpayer-funded sex changes for prisoners." You say that line was taken out of context. I know it was. But it went on to become one of his most effective campaign ads. I'm also featured in one of his campaign ads.
You might have been 1 and 2.
Yeah. I was. He texted me and
Yours was
let me know that.
Context.
No.
No, it wasn't. But what were you actually saying in the clip? And can you please explain that? And how does it make you feel that the campaign used you like that?
Well, it's never good to be taken out of context, but I was explaining to my listeners how effective I thought the actual
Should be used to be getting taken out of context, especially by politicians who aren't the most honest people anyway. I mean, both of them, or all three of them, because Joe Biden's a liar too. Donald Trump, damn sure, is a liar, and Ms. Kamala Harris is a liar. They all lie. It's what politicians do. None of them are all that honest, so when you speak on things or you see commercials, you need to find the whole video when you see them speaking on things, because they'll say each other said some shit and they didn't say anything like that.
actual ad was. Like, you know, the ad was effective before I was in it. I was just sitting at home watching football and I saw it and I was like, whoa. And so I knew the immediate reaction was going to be, you know, people are going to say, hell no, I don't want my taxpayer dollars going to that. So I was explaining that to my listeners. So, I mean, yeah, it never feels good to be taken out of context, but what I didn't like the most was that they didn't do anything.
They the one person watching.
I would have ran the same ad and just said, Donald Trump, you know, what is it? Donald Trump supports. What was it?
He was the one that was supporting tax.
Yes, Donald Trump supports taxpayer-funded sex changes for prisoners. I would have ran the same ad because it was legislation under him as well. And you know what else I would have did if I was our campaign? Since Donald Trump used me, I would have used Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan said Donald Trump was a threat to democracy. Joe Rogan said he thought Donald Trump was, I think, unhinged was the quote.
Right.
You got to mix it up. You got to get dirty with these people. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to muddy the waters a little bit.
he's somewhat right there, even though it's kind of messed up. You do have to get dirty with them because they have no problem getting dirty with you.
Confusion.
Yeah. Let me ask you something that's going around right now. A lot of this conversation about President Biden getting criticized from both sides of the aisle for pardoning his son Hunter after repeatedly saying he would never do it. And a lot of people are saying that it's hypocritical, et cetera, as if the other side doesn't do it. But what's your reaction to it?
I mean, I think all of the criticism is valid because, Democrats stand on this moral high ground all the time. And, they act so self-righteous. The reality is he didn't have to say anything in regards to, whether or not, his son wanted to be pardoned. He could have said, hey, man.
This is kind of where I disagree with Charlamagne. Even though it is hypocritical, that's my man's son. I don't know anybody who wouldn't have did it. Or most parents, would, if they could get their kid out of jail, would do it. It's just what you do for your kids when they get into stupid shit. And according to Joe Biden, my man's been clean for 5 years, so maybe he deserves a second chance. I don't know. But me personally, I don't have a problem with him pardoning his son. It's his son. That's his child. Well, even though the motherfucker is 50 years old, that's still his son. And you do things for your children that you wouldn't do for most motherfuckers. You just do. You take more shit off your kids than you do from anybody else. And it's just a part of parenting. And probably it's a part of even being a parent to an adult that's a fuck up. But my man is trying to get his life back together, so I have absolutely no problem with him pardoning his son, because I would have did the same thing for my kid, and most of you motherfucker would do the same thing for yours.
Man, I'm not.
Charlamagne, you do the same
now,
thing
but
for
since
your
they
kid.
were calling Trump a threat to democracy, and they were saying that, nobody's above the law, but they were speaking about him. That's what they were running on. So when he kept saying things like, nobody's above the law, I respect, the jury's decision in regards to my son, he didn't believe that. But he didn't have to volunteer that lie to begin with.
I'm going to stop you for a second.
Uh-oh.
Here's where it get kind of wrong.
Only because you don't know that it was a lie. We don't know why he changed
You really think he just changed his mind over Thanksgiving weekend all of a sudden?
No, I'm going to tell you what I think.
Okay.
Yeah. I think he changed his mind because he got sick of watching everybody else get over. And this is just my feeling, because at some point you get to the place where you just go, so I'm just going to follow the straight and narrow always, because that's what's expected of Democrats.
But that's their fault. They're the ones that go out. They're the ones that go out there and they think.
I agree with Charlamagne there more than, and I kind of agree with Will be, because it might be Joe Biden doing this to the Democratic Party. Because it was his turn to run. You gave him the nomination at first, and then you said, no, you too old fucking crazy. So we'll give Kamala a shot. So, as disrespected as he felt, as he probably felt over that, he was like, well, shit. I'll be damned. I'll be damned if I let y'all fuck my son over too. That could be it, Whoopi. But go ahead, Charlamagne.
Stand on this moral high ground. They don't have to do that.
I'm a Democrat. Tell me what the moral high ground is.
The moral high ground is nobody's above the law. I respect what the jurors are saying.
He did say all that.
He don't have to do that.
So we're mad at him because he changed his.
Oh, no. By the way, I'm not mad at him pardoning Hunter Biden.
But you sound like you're
No.
Okay.
If I can get in on this, I actually think it went further, and this is one thing we really disagree on. Joe Biden made a point of saying we stand by our institutions and the impartiality of the Department of Justice.
Yes.
Democrats ran on that. The same DOJ indicted Hunter Biden. We shouldn't be saying it's corrupt like Donald Trump does. But then in his statement pardoning Hunter Biden, he says that it was a political pursuit by his own Department of Justice.
Can you explain to me why it is that when Joe Biden does something...
I mean, if you felt like that, you could have been stopped it before now. If you always felt like that, you're the president. the Department of Justice basically works for you. So if you felt like that this whole damn time, why you just saying something now?
Yeah. Everybody clutches their pearls. He's wrong.
Nobody
he lied.
has criticized Donald Trump more than me or Charlamagne.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, people have criticized him more. I've criticized him more. We've all criticized him more. But you're missing my question. Okay. My question is, what is it that makes people flip out with Joe, but we don't have the same kind of thing?
Well, I don't think people are flipping out with Joe. I think Democrats are flipping.
I don't believe that's true because Donald Trump pisses everybody off. And you flip out just as much on Donald Trump as you do Joe Biden. It's just he's being attacked and you finding it a little bit more offensive than most people. And I actually agree with him pardoning his son. Shit, it's his son. You think I'm gonna let my kid go to jail because of you motherfuckers? I'm talking to you, motherfucker. Shit.
Not with Joe because Democrats believe that they don't represent what he's currently representing, but that's just not true. That's why I say they stand on this moral high ground that simply does not exist. And I think this is also the problem when we pick sides, right? We've turned political parties into teams. I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan. Ain't nobody more delusional than me, right? Okay? I feel like we're going to the Super Bowl every year, but I'm not delusional. Well, no, that is delusional. But when it comes, but when it comes to political parties, if you pick a side, right? If you say you're a Democrat, if you say you're a Republican, you refuse to be objective about anything.
I'm an independent.
Yes, but that's not, but that's not a monolith. We're not, Democrats are not a monolith.
But why can't you say when Democrats are wrong? And why can't Republicans say when Republicans are wrong?
I'll tell you when Democrats are wrong.
So you don't think Joe Biden is wrong?
No, I don't. And can I just point this out to you? The president has a pardon power,
you're
right?
I didn't say you were ridiculous.
See, it got kind of hot there because Whoopi felt like he was insulting her, and he was just saying what her thought was ridiculous to him. It was just his opinion, and people got on Whoopi's head kind of because they felt like she just attacked him.
Ms. Goldberg, I would never. I said that. I just think that's.
Think about it. Just think about it this way.
But see, look at that. See, this is where I gave Whoopi credit. She got offended right quick, but once she realized, oh, he wasn't really attacking me, that was her way of saying, oh, my bad. She was like, oh, I'm sorry. That was, and more of us adults should do that. Like, you having a conversation with somebody and it gets a little heated and you misunderstand something somebody says, and especially in our community, because we get to hearing one thing and feeling another thing, and it don't even be like that. He tried to fix what he said like that's not what he was saying, and she accepted it right away. And that was her saying, oh, my bad. Come give me a hug and kiss. I thought that was pretty cool. Go ahead, y'all. So Whoopi don't deserve, especially since she
Can you
forgave
reframe
him
it in this
quick.
way? Think about it maybe in this way. The president has the ultimate pardon power. Every president has done this, right?
Yeah.
And so what people are saying is that Joe Biden is now a liar, as opposed to Joe Biden is someone who now knows that the person that is going to be in the White House is on a revenge tour and his son is on an enemies list. And so he is using his rightful power, his rightful political power, to pardon his son. Now, is that a lie, or is that perhaps being pragmatic, having a change of opinion, as opposed to the president-elect who has lied almost 40,000 times during his first term.
Well, I can't say what it is because
so
I'm not in
who has the moral high ground? Like, what's
you
the full outrage?
Neither one of them have the moral high ground. That's what I'm trying to get everybody to understand. But when you are a diehard Democrat or a diehard Republican, you refuse to be objective about the other party. Like it's like we're watching them do something wrong, but we're making excuses for it. We watch Republicans do things wrong and they make excuses for it. Why can't we just all be objective and call it what it is?
Because it's not balanced.
It's not the same.
Okay, that's pretty much gonna be the end of that video. Although they did have pretty much a part 2 with Whoopi coming back and saying, "With my new sex partner, Charlamagne the God," which I thought was hilarious. People forget how funny Whoopi Goldberg was, or still is. I think once you have the gift of humor, you always have it. I think I'm someone who has been blessed with the gift of humor, and I think no matter how old you get, you always have it. Like I said before, I think Don Wrinkle's old racist ass was funny up until the day he died at 250 years old. Is Don Wrinkle still alive? I don't want to kill off Don Wrinkle's old racist funny ass if he's still alive. But shit, as old as he is, if he's still around, good Lord. But anyway, that was it for this video. This is your boy, the Sports Dr. Spock, Mickey Coleman. Check us out tonight at 8 p.m. It'll be the Mickey Coleman Mike Love podcast with our special guest, Noel Smith. We'll be talking about the Survivor Series, my fantasy football, and much, much more. Hit that like. Don't forget to hit the like. Subscribe. And we'll see y'all tonight on the Mick and Mike Love podcast. Oh, and the Sports Doc Spock radio channel will be starting soon, next week. So I have a link for that in the upcoming videos. And don't forget to join the Sports Doc Spock radio channel. Until later on, this is your boy, the Sports Dr. Spock, for the team leader, Mike Love. Peace out.